we're stuck with what we have. So instead of him just complaining about what is, he needs to either change it or just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Do you feel like you're being played?
Oh, yeah, we felt that way for a long time. We're just not going to sit back and do nothing. No, you can tie our hands behind our backs, but we're still going to go out there and we're still going to work the best way we can. But you can bet that when you come in and try and tell us everything is sunshine and roses and you're fighting for us, we're going to call you on it.
Let me ask you this. One of the big issues, and I was talking to a senior supervisor, actually in the Border Patrol, that chose to remain anonymous out of fear of retribution from the DHS. One of the things that they said is, look, we've got people, we've got SIAs, we've got special interest aliens coming across that border. We are not properly vetting them. We have people that are connected to terrorist organizations. And even if they're properly vetted, we know they were with others and those people were not apprehended. So we have no idea where they are in this country. We have criminals crossing that border and we're just letting them go. They won't let us do our job. We end up being the bad guys. Is it just this administration? Is this administration making it so that the DHS is kind of like a hapless, lifeless organization that isn't even allowing the agents or the officers to do their job, ICE officers included, to do the job to protect the American people?
It seems that this agency, and it's a fairly young agency when you look at government agencies, it got so big so quick, and there's so many layers of bureaucratic nonsense piled on top of each other. So you can't get anything done, even if you wanted to. And everybody, whenever a good program comes out or a great idea comes out, everybody wants to put their stamp on it so they can be part of this great thing. And then it just waters it down or it never gets implemented because it just gets too cumbersome. And that's what we're dealing with here. There's a lot of easier solutions to fix this, but nobody wants to take those steps.
Talk about those, Chris. What would it take?
Well, for some of the smaller problems, like the way we handle the transporting duties, which takes up so much of our time. We're sitting in the field with hundreds of people, 2 agents watching them, and it takes 3 or 4 hours just to get a bus out there to move them. And so when the agents are out there dealing with those people, they're not out there actively patrolling and people are getting away. And we brought solutions, and granted the solutions might be, they might not be the refined solution, but you got to start that conversation in order to get that solution. And we don't do that. And a lot of it is, well, if, the bus takes 4 hours to get there, then technically they're not in custody. So time in custody, the clock doesn't start ticking. So it looks better. Something happens to that person and they faint, they have a seizure, they have a baby. Well, technically they weren't in custody because the bus hadn't got there yet. Just nonsense like that. And we get bogged down with this crap, and a lot of the problems here can be solved, but it's legislative fixes, and I appreciate the senators and the Congress people that come out here, countless ones that come out here. Yeah, it's great to see them come out here, but if there's no will up in DC to fix this, if one side is so far to the other, if the sides are so far from coming together, we're never going to get it fixed. It's just, they need to take the politics out of it. It shouldn't be a political issue. Security shouldn't be a political issue. I mean, having security at your house is not a political issue. Why should it be for the country?
Exactly. It is ironic that Ukraine and the Ukrainian border is now, we've got to protect Ukraine from Russia. We've got to take care of Ukraine because it's so vital to the European continent, and because we don't want to see Russia there. Well, what about the United States? One of the issues, and I've talked to many people in the intelligence community, and it's very well known among people within the intelligence community. It's not an alarmist issue. I'm not making it up here, and it's not a novel, is the fact that Al Qaeda and other organizations have looked at the border as an access into the United States, an area where they can avoid entry by aircraft. They don't have that's going to be almost impossible for them now, but where they can move with people, move a sleeper cell in, move someone in who is basically waiting to conduct an attack in the U.S. My thing is this: You have been warning lawmakers. I've seen you in person on the Rio Grande talking to them about this. I've seen Brandon Judd. I've seen other agents. I have seen, Ardel Cueto in Arizona saying the same thing. None of these lawmakers, if something happens in America, is going to have an excuse if we are attacked